sober on the instant. The padlock had clicked when Montresor passed the chain about my waist and fastened me to the wall. I stood upright in the little dungeon, the blood running cold in my veins. With maniacal laughter, he withdrew from his niche, whipped a trowel from under his robe, and began to wall up the narrow opening. I knew it was no joke. I saw that his drunkenness had fallen from him. The dying flambeau fell from my nerveless hand and cast a fitful, bloody glow upon the whitened, dripping walls. "For God's sake, Montresor!" I cried. He replied with a horrible, mocking laugh, and like a devil from hell, lifted his voice with mine to show that it was idle to call for help. I had always distrusted Montresor. I knew him to be a serpent. He feared me and was jealous of my person and attainments. In spite of all his fawning and his smiles, I knew he hated me deeply. But I was a brave man always. I did not yield myself to fate. I, Fortunato, to die walled in by Montresor. I cursed him in his line. I wrenched at the chain with ferocious strength. The wall grew high. Suddenly he thrust his torch through the opening. To deceive him, I prostrated myself upon the floor and laughed the laugh of a dying man. I heard the thud of another stone. My flambeau had died out, and there was no opening. I was in a tomb of stone. Absolute darkness surrounded me, and silence as absolute as the darkness reigned. I leaped to my feet. Silence. Silence. Absolute silence. Save for my own labored breathing, I called out aloud to my holy saint. I strained upon the chain wildly. I seized it in my hands and tore at it with savage determination. I would not die thus. In one last violent, prodigious effort, the staples of the chain tore loose from the half-rotten stone. Hot tears of joy welled in my eyes, throwing myself upon the wall. Montresor had just reared. I fought for liberty like a tiger. Heavens! It gave! The wall gave! It yielded like a stiff canvas against the push of a hand, gave slowly but surely, bulged outward, then went rumbling down. I thrust myself through the jagged opening into the catacombs. I was free! What joy if Montresor had been there. It was very dark, and yet I could see a gleam of light. Montresor crazed with the thought of sweet revenge. I drunk with wine. I paused and thought, should I find him in the streets and slay him? No. There was a better thing to do. With haste and no mean skill, I built up the wall anew, closing the opening of what might have been my tomb, and against this new wall erected a rampart of old bones. Then, thrusting the dangling ends of the chain within my doublet, I began to retrace my steps toward freedom. I struck my foot against some small, soft object. I leaned over. I had kicked against Montresor's mask, and I put it over my face. I knew that all of his servants were away to enjoy the carnival, but it would do no harm to wear this mask. I passed through the crypt and walked back swiftly through the range of low arches. Soon I was above in my false friend's rich suites, but all was quiet. I was alone, safe. I went light-footed through the deserted house until I came to the passage leading to the plaza. There I stopped in this hall. In the corner upon a low settee lay Montresor, sprawling in a heavy stupor. As drunk with wine as I had been, I paused over his body. Within my bosom was the dagger with which I never part, and yet I let him lie there unharmed. When I elbowed my way, masked, through the square, it was 12 o'clock. I was in time to keep my appointment with his wife. I laughed. What a jest! And Montresor's wife was awaiting me in the usual place. Such a beautiful woman. I really loved her. I was as clever as I was brave. That night I cracked unseen into my own house, secured all the wealth I had secreted, and was up and away. Then we left the city, Montresor's wife and I, and went to England, where we have lived a long life very happily. Years ago, I heard a vague rumor that Montresor believed his beautiful wife had gone away with Giovanna, the tenor. But it was not so. And Montresor will believe until he dies that my bones lie crumbling in the little walled-in dungeon below his palazzo.